What's up, everybody? I'm Chef Mike Jerez.
And I'm John Baruti.
And we are the Million Dollar Food Guys. Welcome to our next episode. This one is about costs and how to make some money in this situation that we're in with high food costs, high labor, high everything across the board.
I just want to say, subscribe, because we're horrible with this.
Yes.
Subscribe. It costs you nothing. Hit the little bell. So every time we do a new episode, which is going to be much more frequently because all the holidays are over, we got all that stuff out of the way.
Yep.
We both are much calmer now. So every week we're going to be coming at you. I don't know about calmer, but you know, we have more time. So subscribe, hit the bell. It really helps us because we like to see that people like us.
And we want to hit 100, and we'll be giving away some prizes at 100. So
prizes at 100.
Make sure we hit that. Yeah, prizes at 100.
So this one is about, the last one we talked about, the new year, new costs, new nightmares, new
problems,
things going on.
correct.
You went a little crazy on Murphy. We're going to, go past that. And this one is going to be, okay, we have that situation. How, as a business owner, okay, John and Mike, that's great. You're telling me things are going to be shittier, more costly, but how do we give people help on, in the food business, being more profitable? Because listen, we have to stay in business, right?
Absolutely. And with the rising costs going through the roof, we have to combat it somehow.
Yes.
One, unfortunately, is raising prices.
Yes.
And you're going to see that across the board everywhere you go.
Yes.
We just talked about, like Jersey Mike subs, for instance. You're getting a half a sub with this much meat, and it's $10 for a half.
Yeah, so a whole
crazy.
Sub is between $16 and $20, right?
It's crazy.
Now, the reason we bring this up is because, listen, Jersey Mike's is a big company, and they can raise prices, but the mom and pop shops, who I do a lot of, right, they don't realize you have to raise prices. You have to.
Well, Dave's Famous Subs, Dave Kleinmar.
Dave, yeah. Hey,
buys
Dave.
the bread from you. What's up, Dave?
Yep.
And he buys every day. He's posting. I'm at Harvest House Bakery picking up all my sub bread.
That'd be interesting. I want to ask Dave if he's raised prices.
And Dave puts a nice piece of meat on that. Probably.
I bet he hasn't. I will guarantee you he hasn't. I know he hasn't.
I know he probably hasn't, but I'm thinking he's going to be doing it soon.
Yeah.
Because he's making a sub like this. We just had Lenny's Market in Silverton the other day, man. The meat on this sub was this big. I couldn't fit. I have a big mouth, as you can see.
Yep.
I couldn't put that sandwich in my mouth.
Same thing.
For $8-9, you're getting a sandwich. And I knew it was one of those sandwiches where when you pick it up, you feel the weight. You're like, holy shit.
Lenny's, so all mom and pops, right? Lenny's, we talked about Dave's, Mulberry Street, great customer of mine, same thing. Listen, I go to these customers, they're customers just like I come to you, but I don't eat there all the time. I was starving one day, and I got a sandwich just like Mike did from Adam at Silverton Meats. And the people behind the counter didn't know who I was. The owners were at a different place, so they weren't making me a special sandwich. The sandwich was like ridiculously high. Yep. Now this is a mom and pop shop, right? Same thing with Lenny's.
Yep.
Same thing with Dave's. Like, you couldn't charge enough for that sandwich, to be honest with you. You couldn't charge enough. Right?
I was very pleasantly shocked that it was cheaper than a Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
Nothing against Jersey Mike's. I love them. They're a great product.
Me too.
They're all over the world.
Yep.
Nice stuff. But
for what they are, they give a good product.
Correct.
For what they are.
And they're consistent. Very
Very
consistent.
consistent.
Because they are met with a lot of,
and they don't weigh. They're not one of these companies that weigh.
But when you go to like a Lenny's Silverton Market,
they stack it
and my son got the BLT, it's the best BLT he ever had in his life, and he eats them all the time at Jersey Mike's. And I'm telling you, I had this sandwich, it was this thick and reasonably under $10.
But so they have
$10.
So Lenny, Adam at Lenny's, and Mike and his brother Ralph at Mulberry Street, they have to do that because they have to differentiate.
And even
themselves.
like Dave's Famous Subs out in Lakehurst. I mean, you see pictures he posts. I mean, this
but you have to charge for it.
I agree.
Everybody is, and I get it. Like even at the ice cream store, we worry about raising prices every year, but people understand. Listen, I don't believe if you're giving this much and you're trying to get that much in price, I get it. People are going to leave. If you give a customer, especially as a mom and pop shop, over and above what they expect, and charge them for it, they are not going to mind. They don't mind.
Well, that's our philosophy. Every year when we do a menu, we add $1 across the board on everything. But the one thing we never did is skimp on our portions, and we never skimped on our quality. We never said we're going to use a lower-end product and charge you, or we're going to make it smaller. I buy so many takeout containers because people cannot eat
too much.
Our portion. But I believe in the value where, all right, you're paying $50 for a steak,
you're
but
gonna take something
you're
home.
taking it home. You got it the next day for lunch or dinner, and people find the value in that. They're not bitching. They're like, wait a minute, I get 2 meals out of once.
For your type of restaurant was not always the standard, right? You go to a higher end restaurant, it was always like, don't give them too much because they won't have dessert, they won't, right?
Right.
So that concept, and this is why you're successful, this is why the restaurant's freaking packed, right? Because people know they're gonna pay. They're gonna come. They're gonna spend.
That's always
money.
been my like me
but
personally.
They're going home.
Right. In every restaurant,
they're full.
Every restaurant I ever worked at, and which was a lot of them, because 36 years this year.
A long
in the
time,
business,
dude.
That you have to. I always believed because I couldn't, because don't forget, we grew up in the 80s where the Nouveau cuisine, where you get this much and you're paying $100 and you go, wow, I go to the McDonald's afterwards, I'm starving. Yeah, it was great, but I'm not full.
Right.
And I never wanted that. I always said, I'm going to give you a really good, not to the point where I'm going to give you like a Rivoli's, a pound of pasta, which I think is obnoxious. Like, that's just stupid. Yeah. The places that give you the pound of pie, and like,
it's crazy.
Because it's just pure garbage you're getting on that. You're getting low-end quality. But give you a good quality portion, charge you for it.
Yep.
Don't skimp, and you'll be back.
Right. So let's focus. So the main thing is, and this is unfortunately the reality, you have to, and I say have to, there is no, you have to raise prices.
Correct.
There is no and ifs or buffs about it.
Yes.
And a lot of, well, it cost me so much to raise the price of the menu. Give me a freaking break. You can go online, Vistaprint, all these different things. It's not that expensive to reprint menus, right? It's not.
No, it's not. Yeah. And let me tell you a quick funny story is because people are going to say, well, that's ridiculous. I can still go down the street and get my chicken parmesan for $12.99. Well, eventually, you're going to realize what you're going to be getting for $12.99.
Yeah. And not only that, the $12.99 guy will either go out of business or have to raise his prices no matter what.
Right.
No matter what.
But you got to understand, and it's the age-old theory, and I strongly believe you get what you pay for. Because we get that all the time. They go, oh, your lobster's $6. We can go down the road and get it for $20. Okay, see what you're getting down the road for $20. Yeah. You can't be that dumb to think that you're going to get quality for a cheap price. Or these buy one, get ones.
And I'm not talking about gouging people. I'm just talking about you have to raise... If you raise your prices 2 or 3% every 9 months or whatever it is, or every maximum you could get, you have to raise yearly, right? Let's say you do that. It's a lot easier than not raising your prices for 4 years and then having to raise them 25%.
Yep.
Right? That sticker shock will hurt people more than $1 or 50 cents more for an entree. So you're doing yourself a disservice by not raising your prices.
We try to educate people on what you're really eating, like dry-aged prime steaks. Okay, you're paying for that. Yeah. Go to New York City and try to get a steak under $80, a dry-aged prime steak. Right. Good luck.
Yeah.
Beat it. Yeah. All right, but you get what you pay for. Yeah. You truly get what you pay for.
So let's stick on the food on the food line. So how, if I'm a restaurant or a deli like Dave, right? Well, so how do I make a product that makes me more money?
Well, the average industry standard for food cost was always 28%, which was the industry standard for a long time for a regular freestanding restaurant. For like a deli or a pizzeria or
25%.
20% in that range. Okay. Right. Well, unfortunately, the old days are gone. Now my food cost is 35, 38%, and sometimes even higher because of the product that we're using, the higher end. But we have to kick up prices. You got to find. Like my friend Jersey Shore Barbecue, Doug Walsh, he's using all protein. He's a barbecue place. Yeah. You're not going there for pasta and chicken. You're going there for racks of ribs, brisket, pulled pork. You're going there for that heavy protein. Well, guess what? Proteins are through the roof. Yeah. Okay, everything is so expensive right now. So how does he make ends meet, literally ends meet, and still stay in business without charging $35 for a rack of ribs?
Right, and you said to get not less protein, but add different things.
Well, my suggestion is this, and it's just a suggestion, take it or leave it, okay? A very popular thing in the West Coast, and we're just starting to see it on the East Coast, is rice bowls. Okay, when I lived out west, I lived in Arizona, and I lived everywhere out there, but rice bowls were huge, and they were mainly Asian rice bowls. Okay. It was like sushi rice with a katsu chicken or some kind of teriyaki chicken over the top. They were $5-6. Okay, back then.
So is this an entree or appetizer?
This could be both. This could be anything you want it to be.
Okay.
But depending on the portion size.
Right.
Okay, you want an appetizer, you get a little bowl. You want an entree,
more profitable than rice and ramen noodles or that. A bowl with noodles.
And so here's the fun part about it. Okay, so a rice bowl does it have to be plain Uncle Ben's white rice and a grilled piece chicken with some broccoli on it. boring. Okay, let's get crazy. Let's do jasmine rice. Let's do basmati rice. Let's do a fun rice. Okay, right. A Chinese forbidden black rice.
All right. What's those grains that everybody's using now?
Quinoa.
Quinoa, right?
Quinoa.
Yeah, but that is more expensive though. Yeah.
Quinoa is more expensive,
but you can mix it in, can't you?
You can mix it in. You can do all kinds of crazy things, right? You can do brown rice. Right, all this health crazy stuff that you want, but then top it with a fresh piece of fish, grilled piece of fish,
a lot of vegetables.
A lot of vegetables. Let's say you want to do a vegetarian option. How about a nice sliced grilled portobello on top? Grilled portobello is like a steak,
right?
But a nice portobello, and do a really cool, crazy sauce.
So let's
a spicy sauce, something really, really cool.
Let's talk about Dave. I'm not singling you out, but Mike brought you up, so we're going to use you. Let's talk about a sub shop like Dave.
Okay,
right? So Dave probably does salads and different things like that.
Right.
What he could do is go to his paper guy and say, listen, I need to-go bowls, right, with a lid, and make up a rice bowl, like a different option as far as, okay, I make subs, but a lot of people want alternative. Not everybody wants to eat a salad. Right?
Absolutely.
But he could make those very quickly, have the rice already done. Right?
Absolutely.
And just everything that he does, and again, we'll go back to Jersey Mike's. So my wife is celiac, she doesn't eat bread. So we went to Jersey Mike's the other day, and they have the bowls, right? So she gets basically the sub in a bowl.
Yes, which has been around forever.
But
sub in a tub.
But if you do rice bowls,
you could do rice bowls, but you could do like he does a very big breakfast business. Over
Dave
there.
does, yeah.
Right. So do like a breakfast bowl with potatoes and eggs. I'm sure. I'm sure you might even does that already. But you could have.
But
this
these are
stuff
suggestions. If you're not doing it, these are other ways that you can a profitable item, right?
Correct.
That doesn't cost you a lot. Right, that you can, and it's a new item for the menu. Even if you don't even put it on your menu, you put it on your specials board, right?
You know what's really cool is, and maybe he's listening, maybe whoever, maybe somebody on the sub shop is listening, but do a hot sub with your cold cuts.
Okay.
I know it sounds bizarro.
So talk to me about this.
So take your capicola, your ham, all this stuff.
Put it on the grill.
Put it on the grill.
Okay.
Or shred it. Okay. Melt some cheese on top of it. And put that
on the bowl.
Do a cold sub that's in the bowl, but it's absolutely delicious. I mean, I lived out west, and barbecue bologna is massive. I mean, everything is barbecue.
I forget where I was the other day, but
and when you go up,
but they asked for for bologna on the grill. I'm like, what?
It's absolutely delicious.
From Wisconsin, wherever the hell they
grilled ham. I mean, think about it. All the stuff you can grill.
I love grilled ham.
But think about all the cold cuts.
Yeah.
They every cold cut can be grilled.
Yeah.
So
especially with a salami on the grill with the fat.
Unbelievable. With fresh cheese, provolone cheese. I mean, there's so many options.
And you put that in a bowl. So
you put that
theoretically, they think it's healthier, right? Because everybody thinks anything in a bowl is healthier.
And your margins are
it's
probably
bigger.
cheaper than a piece of bread. Actually,
listen, I'm not crazy about it because I'm the baker, right? So I'm the guy that Dave's buying the subs from, so he would buy more. But the reality is, you have to have a.
But see, the new thing too now is keto. I mean, everybody's doing keto diet.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the new gluten.
So you could even put
is
on
keto.
your board a keto item.
Correct.
The bowls.
So the new way of the world is keto, which is all protein, no carbohydrates. Basically a hopped up Atkins diet where it's a lot of fat and protein, but zero carbs.
Right.
Okay. So
you use the fad, which there are fads,
which is huge right now.
Your food cost is lower because you're dealing with rice.
You don't have to do any kind of starch, any kind of carbos, no bread, none of that stuff.
Let me ask you a question. So if you
do a grilled cold cut sub.
What do you think the price point on that is? A regular bowl. So a regular to go bowl. What do you think you can get for that? $8.99? $7.99,
sure.
Right?
Yep.
And that $7.99 is basically a half a sub.
And it's probably costing you about $2.
Whereas a regular sub, because of the roll,
probably
is costing you $3.
Right.
So
you're making $1. I mean, listen, every little bit counts.
It matters.
Even somebody like me, we're experimenting with some cool dinner bowls to put higher end with lobster in there and stuff. Again, elevating it. Same bowl, same rice bowl, but elevating it. And I talked to Doug about Jerry Show Barbecue. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, do a cool rice bowl, but put barbecue chicken or barbecue brisket on top, or pulled pork on top of a rice bowl with a Southwestern or a barbecue, Texas barbecue sauce, some fresh scallions on top, make it look beautiful. You're filling their baby. You cut your portion size from an 8-ounce portion down to 4 because your rice is your filler. That's how you're going to make money, folks. And these are the new thoughts moving in, because I got to tell you what, all the cheap cuts of meat that were $5 8 years ago used to be $3-4 are now the same price as prime meat, $13, $14, $15.
We've talked about it before. For those of you that know,
there's nothing cheap. Nothing exists anymore.
Ossobuco. My dad used to make ossobuco. Nobody knew what it was. Is that a veal shank?
It is.
It's a veal shank.
When you got the leg, when you would buy the whole leg, they would debone the leg and they would give you the shank for free, which was the leg, which is the ossobuco, because they had no use for it.
It was free.
It was a garbage cut. They had no use for it.
Now it's, I don't know how much.
$17
oh my God.
$17 a pound. We charge $45 for one shank.
For an ossobuco?
One ossobuco.
Oh my God.
And we sell it out one night.
Okay, so on first of all,
3-inch cut.
Those suggestions are awesome,
and it's veal, by the way,
right?
But just I'm just saying, but like I'm thinking, like even my restaurant, we're super high end, but I have to learn. I have to start cutting. And listen, I would love. I make my most money on my chicken dish.
Yeah.
Okay, hands down.
Yeah.
I wish everybody comes to my restaurant and chicken. I'd be a gazillionaire.
Right.
Unfortunately, you come to my restaurant. What do you want? You want steak and you want lobster.
Sea bass.
You want sea bass. You want a 24-ounce dry aged porterhouse. You want a 16-ounce cold water tail, and you want a Chilean sea bass, which is $24 a pound.
Scallops that are ridiculous.
Or you want shrimp. You're coming to my restaurant for those high-end items. You're not coming to my restaurant for chicken. Do people get chicken? Of course. But we also have now very big, besides the gluten, is vegetarian options. We're doing a ton of that where we could take any dish and turn it into a vegetarian option, or we can create one for you. Vegan is huge too. But the keto thing is huge. We're going to have a couple of keto-friendly items on the menu this year that are specifically all protein, solid.
Excellent.
You know, because that's the new gluten-free is the new keto.
Yeah.
You don't. Hey, could I keto?
But it's all protein, isn't it? Protein.
It's
Keto's
all protein and fat. Yep. So
basically, it's the Atkins diet.
It is. It's like I said, it's hot today. But like, so keto. Okay, stay with the mashed potatoes, mashed cauliflower. That would be the switch off.
Which is delicious.
Which is absolutely. I just made some today.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff you can make a lot of money on because there's deals also too on cauliflower. You can meet with your produce guys. Hey, I'm gonna do a cauliflower dish. You know, what's gonna be the case deal per week and so forth and so on. Same with going back to Dave Subs is he can negotiate with his purveyors or where he buys his stuff from and say, listen, I'm gonna be using X amount of. I'm gonna be doing grilled bologna.
Yep.
Okay, how much can I get a deal on bologna? You know what I'm saying? So you can negotiate, but. So
these are the things I want to talk about, right? Now, obviously, I'm a vendor. People, I mean, Mike uses me for bread. Customers use me for bread. Yes, we've raised our prices, but there's alternatives, right? So if you're getting a French or a Boston and your yield isn't the same, I might sell you a boule that might be much better yield for your table, right? But you need to talk to your vendors. You need to talk to your bread vendors, your meat vendors, your milk vendors in all different ways. Say, listen, I'm trying to save costs. If you don't talk to them, you don't know. I'm not looking for you to lower your prices, but maybe you have a better option on yield, maybe a better option, and there's a fish that's less expensive, but maybe you can do something better with it. A cut of meat that maybe is less expensive, but maybe I can tenderize it, maybe I can stew it, maybe I can do different things.
Well, that's the new thing, like, they talk about the trash fish, which is fish that people never really, porgies, stuff that people never really heard of, that are super sustainable. There's plenty of them, but no one's really using them in the market. And they're dirt cheap. They're $3-4 stuff. They're absolutely.
And let's say they're fishy. Let's say it's fishy.
$4 for skate wing. One of my favorite cuts of fish of all time. The wing of the skate. Like a sea ray, the wing?
Like a squid?
No, it's the opposite. I'm telling you, I make you skate wing, your head will pop off. Brown butter, fresh lemon, that's all you need. Nice. It's like butter. It's $4. They're beautiful.
Really?
And you get a portion like this.
Nice.
Okay, so these are the items that we're going to try because you go to a restaurant.
Talk to your vendors about that. About
absolutely, everything. But everybody wants grouper, everybody wants halibut, everybody wants tuna. These big names, but the cost of these fish
have gotten crazy.
Grouper never came down under $18.
Listen, grouper was a shit fish.
It's $18 minimum now, and it's stupid. But
people used to try something like that grouper. He's like, I don't want that crap.
But now it's massively popular. But all of these cuts that are popular are being overfished, and they're not sustainable anymore. So we got to talk about sustainability. So we're going to start moving in the direction of using, I don't want to use the word trash fish, but fish that's not really known to the market. But the way we're going to prepare them and make them tasty, and I hope everybody really tries them because, one, it's going to be a good value for the customer.
And that's
because
what we're talking about.
I'm not going to be banging the customer on that one. one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a $28, $29 piece of fish.
And I know that the guy that owns a pizzeria or Dave that owns a sub shop or something, they're like, I can't use this stuff. Yes, you can. You don't have to put that on your menu. You can put it on the specials board.
Absolutely.
Right?
All the time.
You could do... And that... I remember, especially, not as much in this restaurant, but like a Marlin's, right? When you were at Marlin's. You were a burger and beer place, but you put specials on that people came there specifically for.
Well, nothing on the menu was over $18.
Right. But
Chilean sea bass used to be $15.
But you could do a $22 special.
Yes.
Because it's on the special board.
On the special board, correct.
And
we'd sell it out.
And you'd sell it out. And it's not on your menu, so they're not like, oh my God, because people's eyes go to the most expensive thing on your menu, right? They just do. Oh my God, it's $22, I can't eat here. But if the menu is filled with $11, $12, $15 items, and then your special board has the $22 item, the $35 item,
right,
that some of the people, especially during the summer, it's tougher now. It's easier for the short places during the summer. But put that stuff on your menu. Spice it up. Give it, do a twist on your regular sea bass or on your regular skate fish, which I didn't know what it was till today. But you can do those. Skate wing, I'm sorry.
Delicious.
But you can do those things. Put it on your special. You'll get more of a profit because you can charge more. It's on the special board. So it's special.
Correct.
But you want to make it special.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So those are all great suggestions. What I want to talk about is the day-to-day, right? The operation. So we're all going through all these costs. How do we lower some of... Because, listen, our rent's not going to go down, right? But what I just did, I called the telephone company, I called the cable company, and I'm like, listen, I'm not paying this anymore. What can you do to lower my prices? Those programs are... And you don't know until you call them.
Yes.
Those programs are old. We have all new programs. I literally lessened my telephone bill and cable bill by $300 a month by just making a phone call. Same thing with all my credit cards.
You don't know the money's out, the deals are out there. You got to ask.
Same thing with the credit cards. So I called all my credit card companies. I'm like, listen, right? And we all use credit cards. We just do to buy our stuff.
It's the way of the world today, though.
Especially on the off season. I try not to carry a balance, and I'm being very diligent. But the reality is 90% of us are using our credit cards to survive. Yep. So if that's the case, you call your credit card companies. And listen, some of us, our credit isn't the greatest. I get it. But if you don't ask, you don't get. And say, hey, I'm paying 22, 27, 28% on my credit card. What can you do? Can you lower it? 9 times out, I just did this with my brother-in-law. He didn't believe me. Not Joe, but Amy's husband, John. They're going through a little bit of a patch, and he owed some money, and he got some money, and he wanted to pay them off. I'm like, listen, call each credit card and tell them, listen, I don't want to go bankrupt. This is what you lead with. I don't want to go bankrupt. You're not going bankrupt, but you tell them, I do not want to go bankrupt. What would you accept as a payoff? Let's say you owe $5,000, right? What would you accept as a payoff that doesn't affect my credit, right? And I can pay it off today if you have the money. He called every single one of his credit cards. Every single one of his credit cards gave him a minimum of 25% less than what he did.
Absolutely.
But you have to negotiate that.
Yes, you have to call up.
The same thing with all the interest. You have to call them up and say, hey, listen, if your credit is shit, they might not do it. But they'll say, hey, if you get your credit up to 600 instead of 530, we can do this.
Right.
But if you don't call, you don't know. These are the little things. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it's a little annoying. But $300 a month, $400 a month, these are real numbers. These are car payments, right?
Oh, it's absolutely, it's massive.
And we had talked about before, you had great suggestions about the food. I don't think people really, they do their coffee programs. Coffee is one of the most profitable items in a restaurant or deli or anything. And let's talk about a deli. So delis don't have quote-unquote coffee programs. But why can't you do a cold coffee? Like, why can't you be a little bit like a Starbucks?
It's huge. The flavored syrups are huge.
Of course.
All the flavored syrups are huge.
Of course, yes.
And we just had a guy come in, wanted to put a cold brew nitrous system in. Nitro coffee at the bar. It's like a tap in a keg.
Joe's Bagels is doing
and
that.
It's a coffee in a keg.
Yep.
He said it's huge. The profits are amazing on it. So, I mean, there's so much out there that you could really tap into. But the trick is you have to think outside the box.
You do.
And you can't be the old school mentality.
You cannot. Not today.
You really got to do your market research. There's a lot of great industry magazines out there that are talking about some really cool stuff. And you really have to talk about that. Another high profit thing, which is really awesome, is soup. There's a lot
of... No, you're absolutely right.
A lot of money in soup. And I know going back to Dave, you're getting a lot of promo today.
You get a lot of promo today.
By the way. He puts up 8 to 10 soups a day.
Does he really?
That he makes all homemade soups.
So let's talk about that.
And he has a leaderboard. But again, you know, a cup or a bowl, you're looking at $5-6 for a bowl, $3 or $4 for a cup.
But this is something you can go to your produce guy, say, I want number 3 tomatoes. I don't want number 1 tomatoes. I want something that's almost going to go bad, right? Or, you know, instead of him selling the case for 22, he's going to sell you the case for $6.
Right.
You're going to get a whole case of not rotten, but very mushy tomatoes. You make those tomatoes into tomato soup.
So much you can do.
$6 is a case of tomatoes.
You know, again, and the trick is being creative, you know, like being really, really cool, you know. So there's a lot of money in soup.
Yeah.
A lot of money in soup.
Yeah.
And
I totally forgot about soup. Soups are a very smart thing.
My chef Wayne makes the outrageous soups. Like they're really, really good. The issue is that keeping...
One second. Today, Trevor, did we go to lunch today?
Yes, we did.
And we went to a local place. I'm not going to say where. And what was the first thing I asked them?
What was the soup?
What was your soup? They had 3 crappy soup choices. I didn't choose them.
Right. And I love soup. I'm a soup guy.
If they had something that was exciting to me,
right.
You know,
soup to me is a meal. I can enjoy soup.
They just lost $5-6.
The issue of that also is keeping the staff out of eating all your soup too. Yeah. Because if you do put out a good soup, the staff is going to, you know, destroy it.
We need to talk more about. I would like to, at maybe an episode, maybe talk to your POS guy about what I'm talking about, because like that would go towards them. Like if they bought it, like
no, I understand.
You know
I know. Like, I do know the concept.
You give them a dollar amount, and they say, you know what, Mike's making a great soup. I'm going to swipe. I'm going to buy that soup today, and that goes against what whatever you give them per day or per month. They have a definitive amount,
right?
That it's not free willy, and I know what you're saying. They're not going to.
You know, the issue with that is just control and staying on top of who's doing what where, because it's easy.
But
just to walk back there.
If you have to swipe,
no, I'm not talking about that. It's easy just to go back there and grab yourself a cup of soup and not do anything.
Well, you cut that out,
and you know who's monitoring though. If no one's in the kitchen, someone goes back there and knows nobody sees.
I get it.
So that's it. You need somebody to police it. It's not in the open. It's hidden. So let's just say there's nobody on the line, or if the guys are working, someone comes in behind their back, grabs a guy, and walks out the door. That happened too. You know, the frustration of my chef making amazing soups is that he comes to me and he says, listen, I made this great gumbo. He said, it's the best gumbo I ever made in my life.
That's awesome.
And in one day, it was gone.
Yeah.
He made 5 gallons. And I go, where'd all the soup go? He goes, the whole staff just destroyed it. They were eating bowls of it in the corner, dipping their bread in, you know, and they kept going back for another bowl, bowl.
But this is for our viewers as much as it is for you, right? If you have a staff meeting, right, and you listen, everybody knows costs are going up, right? Say, listen, we're going to do a pilot program. I value all of you, but the willy-nilly getting whatever you want, soda, beer, soup, we can't do it anymore. I want to give you value. I want to give you whatever it is, $20 a day, $15 a day, whatever the hell the number is that's realistic. It's going to go on a card. You will have to swipe it in order to purchase it, right? And obviously you would give them an employee price. It wouldn't be regular price. And again, I don't know how do you do this as a POS guy. And they say, listen, I don't want you to think that this is me giving you less. We just have to monitor things.
Yeah,
right?
No, I understand.
Just that alone. Let's even say they go and steal it.
Right.
But everybody else knows you're on the system. So all of a sudden, you're asking, well, who's going to police it? Well, the guy next to you that's actually really doing the swiping is like, dude, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have to pay for it. You're not paying for this. Right. They'll police themselves. But if you don't put it out there and you don't say, listen, we have to rein this in, this, you know, the costs are out of control.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then you have sort of a program. Is it going to work 100%? No. But even if it works 20%,
right,
that you can rein in some of your costs.
It's just trying to figure out how to do it. That's going to be the biggest
so
thing.
I don't know that.
Yeah, it's
I don't know that.
The technology is going to figure out how to execute that.
Now, so is that because your POS isn't that old, right? I mean, you could do it. I know you could do it.
Yeah, but it's...
Because if you could do gift cards, you can do that.
Oh, absolutely we can. Yeah, but it's monitoring it. It's issuing them every single day because you know they're going to burn it every single day.
Right.
You know, there is an element of who's going to be managing this, who's going to be securing it, who's going to be this.
My suggestion
is... So there is a lot... There's a lot more involved than just swiping a card.
Who's your POS guy?
We use Micros.
Micros, which is a very big company.
Right.
Right. So my suggestion is, and I don't know if we can get anybody, but maybe the local rep to come and maybe get on one of our episodes.
It's bought by Oracle now. Now it's not Micros anymore.
But you have a rep, though, right?
Yeah.
But maybe having a rep on, and again, not everybody has Micros. Not everybody has the system, but a lot of people do.
Right.
But this is something you got to talk about because the cost of the employees taking is a huge cost.
So back in the day, we'd have a jar, and if you bought a coffee or whatever, you put $1 in the jar. And at the end of the night, they take it.
My dad did that.
You would, whatever, coffee, But, today in this world, it's about honesty. It's about monitoring, and everybody's going to try an angle. Everybody's going to show an angle. But there is something there. It just needs to be worked out.
Yeah.
But
it needs to be reined in. And not only for you, but for our viewers that, again.
And I think that's a program where you got to crawl before you run, and you start small.
No doubt.
And start maybe with soda or with coffee or, and then work your way up to soup and salad and all that other shit. So.
But these are just thoughts.
These are just thoughts. That's all for this episode. Tune in. We're going to be on the road for the next couple episodes. Really excited about that.
Yep.
So make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that bell.
Hit the bell.
Ring that bell. Because that's going to get you.
It costs you nothing. My aunt was like, "Does it cost me anything?" No. It doesn't. And Titi, it doesn't cost you anything. Yep. Just hit the bell.
We're batshit crazy, so you're really going to enjoy the next couple of road shows that we're going to be on the road.
Yep.
So make sure you tune in on that. We want to get to 100 subscribers, so tell all your friends and family, hit it. And
then we're going to have a giveaway at 100.
Absolutely, yep.
We don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it.
We're going to figure it out. But thanks again. Good seeing you. And we'll talk to you soon.
See you on the next one.
Peace.
I can't believe we talked for 30 minutes
already. We ended up.
Okay.
You know how many times I burned my fucking hand and cut myself, and I still have all the scars.
It sucks.
All right.
Okay.
We live?
Yeah, we're good.